Donald Trump's recovery from coronavirus has been kind of fraught over the past few days. Like you, I'm assuming, I was watching as his little medical press conferences were going on each day over the weekend, and as they were sending out videos and tweets and all of that, because everybody in America wants to know, what condition is Donald Trump actually in? And it's difficult to know because there's literally no one in the history of America who's lied more to us than Donald Trump. But let's talk a little bit about what's happened since we last covered this last Friday. So the last we had heard, he had been diagnosed with coronavirus. Since then, he was flown by helicopter to Walter Reed. Now, he did walk to the helicopter himself, which, that stands out, I guess. And then they began the process of updating us with varying degrees of honesty and forthrightness. We're gonna go through all the steps of that. But Francesca, when the helicopter touched down, that seemed like a pretty big moment so early on in the diagnosis. What did you think of that?
I think that it's serious. That's number one indicator. He doesn't want to go to the hospital. He's now saying he wants to leave the hospital. We'll talk about that. But you don't go to Walter Reed, which is only like, it's pretty close by. Conceivably, all of the medical staff could come to you. You're the president, right? They could administer it there. You could rest at home. I'm sure he fought tooth and nail to not go unless he couldn't, unless he truly was suffering. Then he had to be flown there. So it's serious. You can't take it back. You can't take a hospital stay back, especially when it comes to coronavirus.
Yeah, and he seems to wish that he could take it back. We'll go through that. But although I did a live video, on the first press conference on Saturday. So if you're not already, subscribed on YouTube, you're gonna want to do that so that you get the notice about that. But anyway, what was most notable about that was it had seemed briefly as if his personal doctor, who was way more a Trump person than a doctor, that was the impression I got, seemed to indicate that he had been diagnosed with COVID significantly earlier than we initially saw. And that was said at least twice. Now they brought that back afterward. So I can't say exactly what to believe. Perhaps the initial timeline is true. But also, one of the most notable things about that first press conference was the doctor repeatedly being asked, was he put on supplemental oxygen? And the doctor kept answering in a way that made clear that he's not on it now, but I am not going to admit whether he was in the past. Eventually, it did come out that he was having trouble breathing and received supplemental oxygen on Friday after his oxygen levels dropped. That's one of the things apparently that led to him being transferred to Walter Reed. But when that was revealed, that press conference suddenly looked insane, that the doctor kept pathetically trying to pretend that he hadn't been on oxygen. So he provided an update, Dr. Conley did, and said that of his not disclosing yesterday that he'd recommended oxygen, quote, I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of illness in the other direction. And in doing so, it came off that we were trying to hide something, which wasn't necessarily true. No, he giggled during one of the follow-ups. He was 100% trying to hide something. But Francesca, apparently he didn't want to reveal information that coronavirus could have learned from or something. To steer the course of the illness?
Don't tell it we're fighting it. We're gonna surprise attack it in the president's lungs. No one's ever done this before. This is what happens when a celebrity megalomaniac tries to run his own course of medical treatment, which is just, it's the power of positive thinking, the art of the deal, the secret, Rhonda Byrne, she's very smart. Like it's all just like, if you believe you can achieve BS, but you can't do that with coronavirus. I wish you could, believe you me, there have been many people with lots of crystals and summoning all kinds of planets and tarot cards and whatever. We've all been there, just like, please, take this man from us. Just kidding, don't take him. He should live a long time in prison. But the point is you can't will that with this virus. The best part of this press conference to me was when he said, we wanted to project an upbeat attitude, the attitude that the team has. It's like, excuse me, what? So again, not again. Let's just lay it on the table. We're not going to get any honest answers from this administration and from these doctors, right? We are in North Korea territory. We are in typical strongman territory, project strength at all times, lie to everybody, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So just try not to follow a rabbit hole or get too happy or too sad too quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, the project a positive attitude. That's like Trump's thing with after Woodward saying, I just wanted to keep everybody calm. No, but we didn't come out for you to be a cheerleader. We've already got 1 million of those. You're supposed to be the doctor, kind of. But on his comment about, I didn't want to steer the illness in the other direction, I wonder if he said that for Trump, because you might remember that over the past 6 months, Trump has described coronavirus as very smart, a brilliant enemy, and a genius. Maybe that's for Trump. Trump's sitting there thinking, this thing is in me and it's basically Einstein, don't give it any ideas. Maybe that's what it is, I don't know. But that's what we had over the weekend. Not a lot of information, really, a bit more that we're gonna go over, and it leaves us wondering, what's gonna happen as we start this week.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.